Hi, Jacqueline Foster here of Feeling Good TV, the place to come visit when you're really yearning to make an impact without sacrificing your desires for passion and pleasure. Have you ever been driving down the road and you've experienced a detour? And literally, and you were like, oh, hell no. I've got places to be, I've got things to do, and it was just not on your agenda, and it was aggravating. I have been there, and I actually just had this experience a couple weeks ago, and I want to share that experience and a bit of insight that actually came to mind for me in hopes that it can offer some insight for you and a little bit of reflection. So I take dance classes, and I have gotten used to going the same way to get there. I go the same way every week. That's the way I go. That's the way I come back. I'm used to it. It's the first way that I learned, so I go that way. Well, a couple weeks ago, I was driving there and I had class, but after class, what happened was there were detours posted and they blocked me from going the way that I normally do. And I had that reaction of being aggravated. It was 10:30 at night, which was late for me, and I had to work the next day, and a whole list of reasons came into my mind of why I have no time for this detour. But I also had no choice. It was there. So I did have to go some back road streets. I wasn't really sure where I was going, but after a few different streets of following the detour, I realized where I was and I was able to get myself home. And what I realized, and actually I didn't realize it for a couple weeks later, but what I did realize was, oh my gosh, this detour that I ended up having to take actually showed me a shorter way to get to class and to come home. And it actually shortened my ride by, I had two less lights and I had about a half a mile shorter to go. And there was just less traffic in this new way that I was shown through experiencing the detour. And the reason I wanted to share this was because I realized that this experience of this detour was actually one that I could really use as a symbolic way to see other detours in my life. And it helped me open up to realizing that sometimes the way that I do something has nothing to do with whether or not it's easy, and has a lot to do with whether or not that was the first way that I learned it. And if that was the first way that I learned it, that might be the way I label the easy way because it was the first way. And what it has opened me up to seeing is that sometimes when these detours are presented, they're actually an opportunity for me to look at things in a different perspective. And more importantly, to ask myself, is the way that I'm doing something now a way that actually leads me to feeling good and feeling like, this is a way that I'm aligned with and it feels easy and it feels good? Or am I doing this a certain way because it's what I know, but maybe it doesn't even feel that good? And that can be a really interesting reflection to find out, do you want to take the time when these detours present themselves to find another way? Or do you want to just deal with the detour and keep moving forward in the direction that you're going? I think this is a really helpful reflection because I've realized in my life a lot of things that I do are because they're habits, they're things I've learned. And a lot of these things are areas where, stepping back and seeing a different way can actually lead me to a future easier way or a future way that feels better than what I'm experiencing right now. So I would love to know what you do when detours are presented, what perspective shifts you apply to your own life. And I'd love for you to share. And as always, it's such a pleasure to share, and I encourage, if you enjoyed this video, to come over to JacquelineLaceyFoster.com for more videos, and you can also find me on hertube.tv. Wishing you an amazing day, and as always, looking forward to sharing more in the future. Thanks so much.